The film was released in 2013 and is a prequel to The Wizards of Oz. It was directed by Sam Raimi, one of my favorites, who has also directed the Spider-Man trilogy and Doctor Strange 2. This film is a story of a con artist whose good fate makes him a king. Before we get into it, let's make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and save us by the bell, hit the notification bell, and here's a spoiler alert, so watch out and take care. It's gonna have a lot of spoilers. Let's get straight into the video. The story begins in black and white in a circus in Kansas in 1905. Oscar Oz for short is a con artist. He's flirting this new assistant by giving her his music box, saying it belonged to his late grandmother. It makes her feel special. Later he performs his act by raising his assistant up in the air, but the audience claim it's not real magic, so he makes him silent with tricks so they can't understand. A disabled girl, believing in his tricks, asked him to make her walk, but he did nice, saying he can't do that today, for which the audience throws things at him. He, with a white smile, rushes back to his cabin to avoid humiliation. There, a girl named Annie pays him a visit and announces that John has proposed to her, but she hasn't said yes yet because she only loves him. Oz asks her to stop waiting for him and marry John because John is a good person. Boss says he does not want to be a good person but a successful person, also not even wife and children. She assures him that he would be successful one day. Meanwhile, a big muscular guy walks furiously towards his cabin. He angrily crushes the musical box and rushes to fight Oz because Oz has flirted with his wife. Seeing this, Oz gives Annie a final goodbye kiss and runs off. He climbs up a big hot air balloon to fly away. Frank helps his friend by throwing his hat and his back. The big guy keeps chasing him until he subtly stops and runs back feet. Oz looks behind and finds a big tornado which sucks Oz inside. He desperately prays to God to spare his life, in return that he will become a better man. The next moment he finds everything at peace, which was short-lived as the strong winds took him up and up. Here the world filled up full of colors, as if it was a sole thing missing from his life. At this moment his hot air balloon falls down in a water pound and is taken to the lower stream. He sees beautiful flowers, birds and butterflies all around. Just then his balloon starts sinking. He fears that he would also sing, but realize it is just shallow water. His fall from sky is witnessed by a girl. She tells him to come out of the water because it has mermaids. Yep, that's a thing, they're cute, but bite a little too much. He does not believe it until a bunch of mermaids bite his legs and spit water on his face. He asked her what the place is. She tells him it's Oz. Is startled. He asks if the place his name is Oz because it's his name. With that he shows a little magic trick. The girl tells him about the prophecy that says a great wizard will fall from sky and save the land of Oz. He will be made its king. Just then he hears a scream above. The girl tells him that they are the baboons of the wicked witch whose terror rules the land. They hide inside a cave. He says he does not like witches. She laughs and says she herself is a witch named Theodora. A moment later Oz saves himself from a winged baboon by making it chase a pigeon. When it is gone they step down, where Oz praises her eyes. Little flirting. Later that night the girl informed terms their previous king was also a wizard and his own daughter killed him. Now Oz will free the land from her terror. Thinking it is a good opportunity, Oz gives her the music box, telling the same story of his grandmother. Theodora falls for him. It ends and kiss. In the morning they begin their journey towards Emerald City, the capital of Oz. They see a blue talking winged monkey named Finley. Tang 11 vines. Oz saves him from being eaten by a lion. Finley takes an oath to serve the great Oz all its life. They finally reach the great Emerald City. Here Oz reveals to Finley that he is not a savior. He asked Finley to keep it between them. Finley shows anger, but he has taken an oath and I can't back off, so he does. Asper told Theodora let's knock, and other Winkies meet Oz in the palace. He meets Theodora's sister and late king's advisor named Avenor, who is also a witch. She was wearing a green locket. Avenora welcomes Oz warm-heartedly and orders to take care of his rest. When Oz was out she scolds Theodora for bringing a fool inside, saying he could be an empire sent by the wicked witch. She doubts Theodora's intentions, which makes Theodora angry, who absent-mindedly lights and throws a fireball but quickly regrets it. Later Avenora shows Oz the royal treasure, which was filled with lots of gold coins, jewelry and a golden cup. She tells him it will all be yours if you kill the wicked witch. Oz wanted the wealth but did not want to kill anybody. Avenora says he just needs to steal and break her wand. It will defeat the wicked witch. Oz asks Finley to accompany him. Both go looking for the wand. While traveling they find a wrecked china Village and his residents dead. Inside a teapot they hear a little girl crying whose name is China Girl. Oz asks her did not be afraid. She tells him the wicked witch has sang winged baboons who destroyed her village. Her legs were also broken apart. Oz connects them with glue, and she could walk again, and thus she joins him in his journey. After a long journey they finally see the wicked witch hooded black who is trying to enter a cemetery. Oz succeeds in stealing her wand, but when he's about to break her wand she finds him anyway. She looked identical to Annie. You are that wizard, she asks. He says yes. He asked her if he knows her. She denies has it, but he insists maybe from another world. She introduces herself as Princess Galinda the good-hearted witch. She tells him Ava Nora is a real wicked witch who poisons the king and blamed Glinda. Eva Nora was watching everything in a crystal ball. She manipulates Theodora by saying Oz has also given me the same music box. Moreover, he promised me to marry her. It breaks Theodora's heart as Oz failed to kill Glinda, so she sends winged baboons and soldiers to kill both Oz and Glinda. Glinda overhears soldiers' footsteps as they approach to attack them. She asked Oz to use his magic, but he insists on running. Glinda creates a magical flaw that blinds soldiers. The winged baboons don't stop. They run and reach the end of a cliff from where she jumps and others follow. First Finley, then Oz. The next moment everyone was inside the large soap bubbles. These large bubbles took them to a small city encapsulated within an even larger soap bubble that keeps evil people out. All his fears, he would not cross it as he thinks himself as an insightful person, but he crosses it anyway, which she finds very strange. Here he sees thousands of people already waiting for him. He likes the attention. Oz reveals to Glinda he's not a true wizard. She says she already knew. She brought him here because he is the only hope. He agrees to play along in exchange for royal treasure. Meanwhile in Emerald City, Ava Nora offers Theodora a green magical apple as a remedy to her broken heart. Its one vibe made Theodora realize that Ava Nora was the actual wicked witch all this time. This apple transforms Theodora into an ugly witch. On the other side, Oz tells Glinda they need to build an army, but he gets farmers, tailors, bakers, laborers, tinkers and winkies. Glinda says it will all be his real magic if he defeats Eva Nora with them. While they were still talking the protective bubble began to tear and a fireball fell down. Here everyone sees Theodora in her new evil look. She threatens everyone that she will return along with her sister and will make everyone beg for death. Glinda warns her, saying they win because they have the wizard. Theodora promises by killing the wizard first she would let him. Everyone know how deceiving and a liar Oz is. Alcina recognize her until she was about to go back. She snatches a broom and flies away. Glinda asks everyone to not lose hope as they have the wizard, but he himself is trying to escape. He tries to make him stay, but he says there are two wicked witches that he could possibly die in the process. The China Girl overhears them and complains that she can't sleep. Linda offers help. The China Girl asks Oz instead as he reminds her of her father. The China Girl asks him, do you grant wishes because wizards do? He denies, saying it is world there are no real wizards, but there is a scientist not less than a wizard, as he invented many things including the camera that captures moving pictures with very limited resources. And that is when he hits upon an idea and tells Glenn that he did not need any more army. He could defeat wicked virtues by performing the biggest performance of his life, filled with magic, suspense and adventure. So utilizes the available people, giving tinkers tasks to build projection equipment. Tailors just use air crows and farmers to collect 200 kilograms dry grass. He has tinkers to make magical smoke. Winkies help in making fun fireworks. In Emerald, Ave Nora and Theodora were also building their armies. Oz asked Master Tinker to secretly make a hot air balloon. Tinkers create a carriage in which Oz would hide himself, his projection equipment and enter Emerald City. Nug agreed to help with this purpose. Glinda creates a fog and makes witch sisters believe they're trying to cross the harmful poison poppy field. They realize and they release the winged baboons, which attack, but only then they come to realize that they were only scarecrows filled with dry grass. It makes witches furious and they ordered them to return back. Many faint in a poppy field only if you succeed. Two of them captured Glinda, whose fallen wand is taken by the China Girl. The China Girl crosses the field unharmed. Inside Emerald City, Oz tells everyone to stick to the plan no matter what. Any flees towards the hot air balloon. Linda has handcuffed publicly where Evan Nora tortures her, saying that she has waited for so long for this day. Oz was not among the people. Finley watches him stealing treasure and putting it over a balloon. Nock expresses he never trusted this guy. Even Theodora watches him believe the witch sisters asked Linda to accept defeat, but she says never. She trusts the great wizard. To this Theodore says she also trusted him once and shows Everyone the flying hot air balloon, she says the coward is leaving you all with that. She lights a fireball, then hits the balloon, it burns up and falls straight on the ground. Everyone loses hope. Right then Oz reappears. Finley realizes it was all planned and they go inside the carriage to begin the great show. Theodora and even Nora announced it is Glinda's turn to die, but this moment large smoke is produced and Oz fooled with witch sisters into believing that he is reborn, saying he is immortal and now even more powerful than before. Theodora hits a light bulb and the wizard disappears momentarily. He reappears again even bigger than before. Either demonstrates his power by shooting stars, which were actually fireworks, and the witch sisters did not know it. The China girl climbs over the one to save Glinda. Theodora says so what if she can't end him? She can, and Glinda and turns to kill her, but she has escaped already. She again throws a fireball that Oz would get attacked. Instead she flees knowing he is undefeatable. Oz apologizes for whatever happened to her and says to find goodness with them, but she denies angrily and leads inside the palace. Nora finds Glinda waiting for her and they have an intense fight. Both fall down. Evanor stands before Glinda could and rushes to an attack, but she finds herself growing weak. She turns into an old and ugly witch because her locket was broken during the fight. Glinda throws her off the palace and she is taken by the winged balloons away from the Emerald City. Oz issues a royal order when war is over, which states from now on the land of Oz shall forever be free and everyone would share an equal right over it. Oz has kept the projection equipment behind the throne. Also, if someone wants to meet the king, he could meet him here. He gives everyone some presents: the Tinker Master his jackknife knock, his missing smile, China girl her missing family, Finley his hat as a symbol of his friendship, and Glinda all his love. The movie ends with Oz and Glinda sharing a kiss. So how did you find this recap? Do let us know through your comments and make sure to hit that like button. Also do let us know which movie recap you want to watch next. We will be back with another amazing recap. Till then, stay tuned.